Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls soccer contest as part of the 2022 MIAA State Tournament. Today's round of 32 contest pits the visiting 26th seeded Woburn High Tanners against the hosting 7th seeded Brookline High Warriors. Pre-game clock has us with about 6 minutes before we get this one underway. Got a beautiful Sunday afternoon here for soccer as we see the home team Warriors in their blue jerseys with white outline jersey numbers, while the Tanners over on my right with the white jerseys. As we get ready to get this one underway, Woburn prevailed over Medford in the preliminary round to earn this spot in the round of 32. Brookline, as the 7th seed, earned a bye through the preliminary round. Winner of this game moves on to the round of 16, where I believe they will be facing the 10th seed of the tournament, as I believe the other round of 32 matchup has already been played. And indeed, the winner of this game will be taking on 10th seeded King Philip, which defeated 23rd seeded Beverly 6-0 to earn a spot in the round of 16. Now, if Brookline wins, they will still have home field advantage in the round of 16. If Woburn pulls off the massive upset, they will be the visitors against King Philip in the next round. Pre-game clock is run out, so I imagine the PA announcer will be taking over very soon to give us starting lineups, national anthem, and the start of this ball game. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. We've got a soccer playoff doubleheader today, as right after this girl game ends, I'm going to be hopping in my car and driving all the way out to Shrewsbury for the Brookline boys soccer playoff game against St. John's High School. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribing to the channel can help. And of course, as always, if there's anything you would like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. If you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, please let me know as soon as you can. It might be something I don't notice. If you see me flubbing the pronunciation of any names, or if I'm unable to identify a player, in the postseason, sometimes they call up players from, the JV or freshman teams, and sometimes those players get playing time and they're not on my roster because they weren't playing during the varsity regular season. So if you notice any errors like that, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. And of course, if it's just something as simple as go Brookline or go Woburn, whatever your preference may be. This PA announcer now taking over. Starting lineups now being announced.
Senior, 00, Amber Hayden.
First off, they have their keeper, number 00, Amber Hayden.
Sophomore, number 1, Caitlin Clark.
Next up, number 1, Caitlin Clark.
Sophomore, number 6, Sydney Medevere.
Next, number 6, Sydney Medevere.
Sophomore, number 7, Riley Anderson.
Number 7, Riley Anderson.
Junior, number 9, Kayla Bubak.
Next up, number 9, Kayla Bubak.
Senior, number 4, Kiara Naburi.
Next up, number 4, Kiara Napuri.
Senior captain, number 12, Hannah Surratt.
Next up, one of the senior co-captains, number 12, Hannah Surratt.
Senior captain, number 13, Cynthia Labassiere.
Next up, another senior co-captain, number 13, Cindy Labissiere.
Senior, number 14, Camille Connors.
Next up, number 14, Camille Connors.
Senior captain, number 16, Colleen Curran.
Another co-captain, number 16, Colleen Curran.
And senior, number 17, Marky Gibbons.
And then number 17, Marky Gibbons. So that is the starting lineup for the Woburn High Tanners.
And now, the starting lineup for your Brookline Warriors.
Now the starting lineup for the Brookline High Warriors.
Senior captain, 00, Talia Thompson.
First off, manning the spot between the pipes for Brookline, senior co-captain number 00, Talia Thompson.
Sarah Gonzalez.
Next up, another senior, number 3, Sarah Gonzalez.
Sophomore, number 5, Velena Chernichev.
Next up, a sophomore, number 5, Vilena Chernichev.
Senior captain, number 8, Sari Frankel.
A senior co-captain, number 8, Sari Frankel.
Senior, number 11, Eleanor Bergstein.
Another senior, number 11, Eleanor Bergstein.
Senior, number 13, Gianna Pentland.
Another senior, number 13, Gianna Pentland.
Senior, number 14, Madeline Moore.
Another senior, number 14, Madeline Moore.
Senior captain, number 15, Cecilia Wager.
A senior co-captain, number 15, Cecilia Wager.
Number 18, Anna Leslie.
A sophomore, number 18, Anna Leslie.
Number 19, Sydney Freese.
Another sophomore, number 19, Sydney Freeze.
And senior, number 27, Alexandra Levy.
And one last senior, number 27, Alex Levy.
Our great nation has persevered through the leadership and
Now upcoming is the national anthem.
who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to stand. We thank you for your service to our country. Now, we invite all to stand for our national anthem.
All right, that was the national anthem, and now we're about to get this game underway. I see some folks already chipping in the live chat, including a number of members of the Brookline boys soccer team. As we see among those contributing, Eamon Bochelle coming off a goal scored in the preliminary round earlier this week against Medford. Oscar Kulkarni, who scored the 2 goals in their Brookline's comeback tie in the regular season finale against Newton North to clinch their spot in the playoffs. Jackson McGee, Brookline's starting netminder. Sam King, one of their seniors as well. And we see some other live chat comments coming in, including one fan who is tuning in from Argentina. I love to see that. I loved seeing all the different places people are able to tune in from, you know, thanks to the wonders of the internet. And to all the boys players tuning in, I'll just say this. I'll see you in Shrewsbury later today, fellas. Tanners huddling up before we get this game underway. And now here come the Warriors. Obviously, on paper, the Warriors are a big favorite in this contest. But if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. We don't play these games on paper. We play them on the field. You cannot look past an opponent, especially in a sport like soccer where potentially a single score could decide everything. Looks like Brookline will have the opening possession. Gianna Pentland at midfield, ready to get us underway. There's the whistle, and here we go. Pass goes back to Alex Levy. Sends it over to the near side for Sydney Freeze, who controls it, fends off the pressure, and passes it back to Cecilia Wager. Now a cross for Anna Leshley, a bit of a chase to it, but she does send it up the line to Madeline Moore. Now back to the middle to Levy, and across to Sari Frankel. Frankel tries to send up the middle, cut off, and intercepted by Woburn. That was number 17, Marquis Gibbons, who sends it way down the near side. Tries to send in a crosser. That was Colleen Curran, who tried to float that one towards the box, but wide and out of bounds. This will be a goal kick for Talia Thompson. Thompson kicks it up the near side, deflected down and taken by Curran. Curran's kick walled off by Frankel, and Frankel manages to keep it in bounds, pass it up to Bergstein. Give and go attempt is cut off and booted away. Labissiere trying to chase after it, cannot get there in time, and that will be another goal kick. The long leading kick from number 14, Camille Connors, went just a little too far for number 13, Cindy Labissiere. Brookline again trying to work the ball up the field. Gonzalez sends a pass to the middle to Frankel. Nice touch pass to Levy. Sent upfield for Chernychev. Velena Chernychev sends it up to Eleanor Bergstein. That pass off the mark and taken away. Chernychev trying to apply some pressure on that pass, but they do get it upfield. Racing down the far side now on a hard collision. That's going to be a foul call against the Tanners. CC Wager doing a good job cutting that one off. I think that was number 9, Kayla Bubak, who was trying to chase that one down. Wager now boots it upfield. Deflects down, scrum for the ball. And Pentland comes out with it, passes it back to Levy. Frankel manages to get a foot on it, but it's cut off again. by Connors up to Curran. Curran keeps it in bounds, tries to send it up, but nothing there. Brookline surprisingly struggling to move the ball upfield in the opening minutes of this contest as Thompson rolls it into Freeze. Now over to Wager, back to Freeze. Now back to Thompson. Thompson now sends a pass out to Wager, and now up to Freeze. Now stolen away by Labissiere. Out of bounds, Brookline ball. Throw in up the near side is immediately out of bounds. Curran takes it, throws it back in. Too far for Buback. Booted away by Wager, but Curran takes it back. And now stolen away by Gonzalez. Gets a pass away to Frankel. Frankel dribbling her way through. Sends a pass up to Chernychev. Chernychev back to Levy. Levy's pass a little wide, but Chernychev chases it down. Passes up to Bergstein. Tapped back to Chernychev. Upfield. Collected by Gonzalez. Gonzalez battling for the ball. It's lost out of bounds. It's going to be Woburn ball. Quick throw in. Knocked down by Freeze. And it's going to bounce past everybody and out of bounds. Another quick throw in to Labissiere. Cut off by Gonzalez, recovered by Frankel. Frankel trying to send a through pass, finds her target. That's Pentland. Pentland dribbling up the near side, turns around, dribbles back towards the middle, sends a pass across to Levy. Levy turns around, swings it over to Anna Leshley, dribbling in. Pass up the middle, finds Pentland, tapped over to Chernychev. Chernychev knocked away. Almost a chance for Gonzalez, but it's cleared out by the Tanners. Levy tries to send a pass, cut off and kicked away. Leshley recovers, passes back to Wager. Wager kicks it up the far side to Moore. Moore sends it up, deflects off Chernychev. Pentland chasing after it, offsides called. Free kick now for the Tanners. Deflects off the head of Moore, and it's being chased down by Wager. Wager sends it back to Thompson. Thompson quickly kicks it away, and that's going to go out of bounds. Got to give credit to the Tanners in these opening minutes. You know, very aggressive forward pressure they're showing. That's been stifling the Brookline advance a bit. As this one is booted high in the air and caught almost like a punt returner there by Thompson. Rolled into Wager. Wager kicks it up the middle, finds Pentland. Pentland fakes the pass and keeps the ball. Now swings it over to Frankel. Frankel. Long leading kick. It's a race to the ball. Pentland might get there first. Pentland knocks it loose, but Hayden tripped her up, and it's knocked out of bounds. This is going to be a corner kick for Brookline. Sari Frankel setting up to deliver the corner kick. Kick sails in, deflects off a foot, and it's taken off the ground by Hayden. Hayden punts this one. Bouncing along off the head of Wager. Loose ball being scrummed for, recovered by Buback, passed to Curran. Curran sending a leader for Labissiere. And there's the offsides call. For a brief second, it looked like there wasn't going to be a call, and that would have been potentially disastrous for Brookline, as Leshley's pass is walled off, but she gets it away on the second attempt to Moore. Moore kicks it up, bounces past Pentland, knocked away by number 1, Caitlin Clark. Leshley passes it to Moore. Moore's pass does not get through, knocked away. Pass to the middle, and Frankel stands up her opponent and gets a pass upfield. Gonzalez trying to chase. It's knocked out of bounds. On defense was number 6, Sydney Mativier. Couple passes to Frankel in the middle. Now over to Levy. Levy launches one, and that's just going to one-hop into the arms of Hayden. Hayden punts this one. Headed down by Levy. And that's going to be a foul against Woburn. Wager lining up for the free kick. Wager launches it. Off one bounce, it's taken by Hayden. Hayden punts it. Off the head of Levy. Knocked down, but taken by Chernychev. Chernychev sends a pass a bit wide, knocked away by Connors. Now kicked up field by Metivier. And now Curran tries to kick it upfield, but that's going to go out of bounds. Freeze throws it in quick to Frankel. Frankel sends it back to Wager. Wager up the middle wide and taken back by Woburn, but immediately taken back by Leshley. Kicked up to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Frankel's got some space. Sends a leading kick just off the mark, and it's scooped up by Hayden. Hayden punts this one. Bouncing along. Knocked down, race to the ball. It's out of bounds. They say off Brookline. Curran, the quick throw-in for Labissiere. Labissiere's pass, nice reflexes by Wager on defense there. And now Levy passes it up the middle to Pentland. Pentland turning around, lifting a pass, deflected down, but stolen away by Connors. Passed up to Curran. Curran's pass walled off by Freeze. Freeze dribbling, Labissiere applying pressure, but Freeze gets the pass away to Levy. Levy now taps it back to Wager. And Wager decides to send it all the way back to Thompson. Pass up the far side to Leshley. Leshley dribbling, still dribbling, now taps it for Levy. Now over to Freeze. Freeze up the middle to Frankel. Frankel passes up to Bergstein. Bergstein tries to send a leader just off timing, and it's kicked away. Bergstein recovers. Pass to the middle to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Swings it across to Bergstein. Bergstein sends it back to Frankel. Now a pass to Leshley. Now up to Pentland. Pentland sends a leader for Moore. Moore, the crosser into the box. Too high. That's going to be booted away by Metivier. Up to Curran, who now kicks it up to Labissiere. Labissiere got a bit of a lane here. Wager, the last line of defense, slows her down. Labissiere trying to chase after the ball. It is out of bounds. And it's Brookline ball. Freeze throws it into Wager. Now back to Thompson. Thompson's pass intercepted. Quick shot is in. Oh my gosh. Woburn takes the lead. A sloppy mistake by the Warriors. And now the Tanners off the steal and shot from number 9, Kayla Bubak, take the 1-0 lead. And a timeout is immediately called by Brookline. Like I said before the game, you cannot look past any opponent at this stage of the year. And in soccer, one goal can decide everything. And it is the 26th seeded Woburn Tanners getting on the board first. Head coach Ben Peters talking to his players in this timeout. And the Warriors have to be frustrated after that. Goal in the 12th minute by number 9, Caleb Bubak. And now the visiting underdogs hold a 1-0 lead. Pentland gets us started at midfield again. Pass back to Levy. Now back to Wager. Back up to Levy. Levy kicks it up to Pentland. Pentland stolen away. Kicked away by Clark, deflected by Chernychev. Recovered by Moore. Pass to Chernychev. Sent back. And now Leshley passes it back to Wager. Wager kicks it upfield to Frankel. Frankel dribbling now, sends a leading kick up the far side. Matty Moore racing after it. Moore sends in a crosser, scooped up by Hayden. No score there, but as a Brookline fan, you gotta like the sight of that. That looked much more decisive and much more aggressive than we've seen Brookline through these opening minutes. Leshley kicks this one. Moore deflects it ahead. Taken back by the Tanners. Kicked up the line and out of bounds from number 4, Kiara Napuri. Moore throws it in. Pentland fighting for it. It's out of bounds. Woburn ball. Quick throw in off the head of Leshley. Off the head of Bubak. Labissiere sends a pass. Just barely sliding in and taking it was Thompson as Curran was crashing on that one. Quick roll in to Gonzalez. Tapped ahead to Frankel. Frankel, it's knocked out of bounds by Curran. Throw in goes to Bergstein. Bergstein taps back to Frankel. Over to Levy. Levy turning around, dribbling upfield now, sends a long kick, walled off by Connors. Connors' kick deflected, but does get to Curran. Sent upfield. Tanner still moving it, sending a leading kick for Labissiere, but Wager gets there first. The pass from number 12, Hannah Surrett, just not quite there. Throw in, taken away from Surrett by Frankel. Pass back to Wager, now over to Freeze. Freeze boots it up the near side and out of bounds. Throw in goes to Surrett. Kicked upfield, nobody quite there. And this is going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick. Tap into Wager. Wager launches it. Downed by Medavir. Kicked up to Curran. Frankel steals it away. Frankel dribbling upfield. Frankel sends a pass up to Pentland. Pentland turning around, tries to send one across off the mark, but recovered by Frankel. Frankel dribbling, still dribbling with it. Taken now by Pentland. Pentland fighting for the ball, no call, but it is taken by Napuri, passed up to Curran, now up to Surrett. Surrett's kick sliced off the mark, but it will be chased down. Booted upfield off the head of Leshley and out of bounds off the Off the kick. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Tripod just decided to fall over. Pentland passes back to Moore. Moore's kick walled off, but recovered by Chernychev. Now her pass deflected and kicked away. Freeze gets to the ball first, passes it back to Thompson. Thompson sends it back out to Freeze. Freeze turning around, kicking it up the near side. Gonzalez sends it up to Frankel, now back to Levy. Levy up the middle to Pentland, back to Frankel. Frankel sends a pass up to Bergstein. Bergstein touches one through to Pentland. Pentland fakes out her defender, lifts a leading kick for Gonzalez. Gonzalez fighting for the ball, gets control of it, sends a pass back to Frankel. Frankel scrumming for the ball, and it's kicked away by Surrett. And they're going to call a foul on Frankel. Kick from Clark, taken by Labissiere. Labissiere gets through one defender, now sends a leading kick down the near side for Curran. Curran chasing after it. Curran gets a kick that bounces into the box, but it's taken off one hop by Thompson. Thompson now rifles it into Gonzalez. Gonzalez passes up to Frankel, give and go, cut off and stolen by Surrett. Surrett's pass stolen back by Freeze. Pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez sends it upfield, kicked away by Connors. Now taken by Thompson, rolled into Leshley. Leshley sends it up the far side to Moore. Moore sends it up to Chernychev. Chernychev passes back to Moore. Moore sends it to the middle. Bergstein takes it, sends a leading pass too far. Clark's kick is deflected. Napuri going to chase after that one. Kick deflects off the body of Chernychev and out of bounds. We got a substitution coming in for Brookline, number 10, Amra Ukamadou, replacing Sara Gonzalez. Throw in, deflected down, kicked away by Leshley. Clark quickly boots it away and out of bounds. Throw in from Moore. Pentland gains a bit of an edge, sends in a crosser. Chance! Oh, the shot from Bergstein over the bar. And we've got another sub coming in for Brookline, number 21, Mirabel Kesselman, replacing Vilena Chernychev. Hayden kicks it off a couple heads. Now Kesselman with the ball. Swings it, misses. Frankel, Curran kicks it away. Wager taps it over to Freeze. Freeze up to Frankel. Frankel surveying, sends a pass up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou off to the races. Ukamadou battling with Connors. Connors cuts it off, almost stolen back. Now taken by Kesselman. Shot deflects several which ways. Deflecting up in the air. Ukamadou chasing after it. Ukamadou a shot off the side of the net. Brookline generating that offensive pressure, but they've still got to find the back of the net. Hayden's kick deflected in the air, downed by Bergstein for a second, then kicked out by Medavir. And it is, in fact, Brookline ball. Bergstein throws it into Frankel, back to Freeze. Freeze manages to get a pass back to Wager, who quickly sends it across to Leshley. Leshley taps it over now for Levy. Give and go back to Leshley. Leshley lifts a leading kick. Bergstein fires a shot, and there's the equalizer! Eleanor Bergstein! Brookline knots up the score at 1 apiece. Eleanor Bergstein with the first goal of her senior year, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Long lifting kick, knocked down by Fries, taken by Labissiere, pass to the outside to Curran. Woburn right back on the attack, but cut off quickly by Fries. And that's going to set up a corner kick for Woburn. Woburn setting up for the corner. And it comes headed away by Wager. And juggled by Medevere for a second, but she does kick it. It's booted back by Kesselman. Bergstein taps it upfield, but it's downed by Clark. Clark boots it out of bounds. Throw in to Bergstein. Bergstein battling Curran. Pass away to Surrett. Surrett, a long kick past everybody, and it's going to be scooped up by Thompson. Rolled into Fries, passed over to Wager. Wager dribbling with it, sends it up the middle to Levy. Levy across to Fries, up to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Still dribbling, pass across to Levy. Levy knocked away, stolen away by Connors. Pass upfield, and a sliding tackle by Levy that got ball first, but now taken back by the Tanners, and now kicked out of bounds, and it'll be Brookline ball. Throw in from Moore. Deflected down, corralled by Kesselman. Passed up to Pentland, tapped back to Kesselman. Kesselman working up the far sideline. Tripped up. And that's either foul or out of bounds. They're going to say out of bounds. Moore throws it into Levy. Levy, a leading kick. Too far. Scooped up by Hayden. Hayden's punt off the head of Fries. Levy passes it back to Wager. Wager's kick too far, taken away. Number 7 trying to race down the far side, but Leshley cuts her off and gets the favorable deflection on that kick. This will be a goal kick. It was number 7, Riley Anderson, in pursuit there. Thompson kicks it over to Wager. And Wager kicks it over to the near side to Bergstein. Fries now takes it, passes to Wager. Up to Levy, tapped back to Leshley. Leshley boots it upfield, downed by Pentland. Pentland back to Levy. Levy up to Frankel. Frankel dribbling. Gets it to Levy. Up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou dribbling with it. Spinning. Trying to force her way through several defenders. Ukamadou fires just wide. Amru Ukamadou almost fought her way through 3 defenders on that play. But her kick just barely rolls wide. Goal kick now coming from Hayden. Deflected down, and Levy takes it. Pass back to Wager. Across to Leshley. Leshley turns around going up the far side. Pass up to Moore. Moore's kick deflected out of bounds off Napuri. Quick throw in from Moore to Pentland. kicked away, headed upfield. Leslie's going to get there first and pop a pass across to Freeze. Freeze kicks it upfield. Amaru Ukamadu all by herself. Ukamadu charging in, tries the pass, deflected away by Hayden as she gets taken out at the legs. Waited just a little too long to send in that crosser as Hayden walls her off. Hayden's kick bounces along. Leslie kicks it in the air. Levy controls it, passes it upfield, knocked away by Connors, taken back by Kesselman, deflected away but taken by Levy. Levy's kick is deflected but recovered by Frankel. Frankel gets double teamed, but a foul is called. Just under 15 minutes left here in the first half. We're all knotted up at one apiece. Wager the quick free kick into Levy, tapped over to Frankel. Frankel dribbling, looking for an opening. Turns back around and passes it back to Wager. Wager sends it up the middle, finds Kesselman. Kesselman sends a pass over to Ukamadu. Ukamadu trying to force her way through the defender, but it's knocked away by Connors. That is going to roll out and force a corner kick. Frankel heading to the corner. Let's kick this one away. Here comes the kick. Comes in a little shallow, and it's taken off the hop by Hayden. Hayden punts it. Bouncing along. Goes off the foot of Leslie the wrong way. Now off the head of Leslie and out of bounds. Throw in for the Tanners. Off the head of Leslie. Levy kicks it upfield. Race to the ball. Maddie Moore gets tripped up, and that's going to be a foul call against Napuri. Wager coming in for the free kick. Wager sends it towards the box, off the head of Kesselman, but it bounces into the arms of Hayden. Hayden punts it. Off the head of Freeze. Off the head of Medivere. Frankel kicks it up. Ukamadu is open. Ukamadu off to the races again. Ukamadu sends in the crosser. Recovered. Pentland turning around. Doesn't have an angle. Shot is walled off. Clear out. Bergstein keeping up the pressure. Now it's booted away by Clark. Throw in to Frankel, tapped back to Bergstein. Bergstein lost her footing but manages to keep the ball. Now taken away by Curran. Curran boots it across midfield. Wager passes it back to Thompson, who kicks it back to Wager. Wager up to Levy, who taps it to the outside to Leslie. Leslie sends a pass up to Kesselman. Kesselman dribbling, gets through a couple defenders. Kesselman still going. Kesselman finally loses her footing, and they call the foul. How about the efforts from the freshman midi, Mirabel Kesselman? This is going to be a bit of a tough spot for a free kick for Brookline, very close to the box. Can be a bit of no man's land in a sense, as we see both Frankel and Levy lining up around the ball. Now Levy moving off. It will be Frankel taking this kick. And the kick is going to one hop into the arms of Hayden. Again, when you get a free kick so close to the box but outside of the box, it's so hard to find the right angle. Surratt with the ball. Pass up to Curran. Curran's pass knocked away by Wager, and that's going to go out of bounds. Substitution checking in for Woburn. Number 11 coming into the game. That's Leah Finn. Medevere throws this one into Labissiere. Labissiere gains the edge. Her kick walled off by Wager. Wager keeps it inbounds, and Freeze steals it away. Great defensive effort by Wager and Freeze. Pass goes up, taken by Ukamadou. Ukamadou taps it over for Levy. Levy. Kick is deflected out of bounds by Bubak. Oh, but it's off Brookline. Quick throw in from Woburn. Wager, pass up to Leshley. Leshley gets it up to Frankel. Frankel across to Levy. Levy sends it up the middle, wide, kicked away by Clark, and they're going to call the foul on Kesselman. Less than 9 minutes left here in the first half, still tied at 1 apiece. Leshley boots it up twice now, and it's taken by Napuri. Booted high in the air. Bouncing along. Hard collision between several players, and it's recovered by Levy. Pass to Bergstein. Bergstein's kick deflected out of bounds by Finn. Bergstein throws it in off the head of Finn. Medevere boots it upfield. Curran kicks it along further. Wager going to chase that one down. Pass to the near side to Freeze. Freeze now sends it up to Kesselman. Kesselman fakes the defender out her shoes, gets a pass away to Pentland, now to Ukamadou. Now another hard collision, and now the foul is called as she collided hard with Medevere. Now Wager setting up for the free kick. Not a bad distance for a free kick here. Ball is at around the 25-yard line of the football field as Wager asked to make sure the defenders were in their proper spot. Wager, the kick is going to sail high. Right idea, just a little too much backspin on that ball as it sailed up. Hayden boots the goal kick off the head of Pentland. Off another head. Ukamadou tries to kick it, but it's walled off and booted away by Finn. Off the head of Wager now. Levy taps it over to Leshley. Back to Levy. Now further back to Wager. Up to Leshley. Leshley up to Frankel. Frankel dribbling around. Now lifts one up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou tries to send a pass off timing there. Kicked away, and Curran boots it along. Now Leshley kicks to Levy, give and go back to Leshley. Leshley walled off, and it's booted upfield and deflected out of bounds off the foot of Nicole Ganji. Moore throws it into Levy, headed down to Leshley. Leshley stolen away by Ganji. Ganji off to the races down the far side, sends in a crosser, headed away by Wager. Levy, excuse me, kick taken back by the Tanners, booted into the box, and it's going to be taken off a couple hops by Thompson. Rolled into Bergstein. Bergstein boots that one upfield, bouncing along off the deflection. Ukamadou's got it. Ukamadou trying to get a pass away, but Connors with the hustle to knock it away. Surrett now kicks it upfield, knocked back by Freeze. Kesselman manages to knock it back to Levy. Levy sends it across to Leshley, up to Frankel. Now back to Leshley, but this might be a bit too far. Barely kept in bounds. And we've got a yellow card assessed to Anna Leshley as she got tangled up with Nicole Ganji. So Leshley going to have to come out to serve the yellow card. And now the sub checks in for Brookline. That's Sara Gonzalez returning to the pitch. Just over 4 minutes left in the half. The free kick. And a whistle? Not sure what happened there. Maybe players jumped off the line early or something. But we're going to redo the kick from Surrett. Now Surrett launches it off the head of Moore. Kesselman kicks it upfield to Pentland. Pentland dribbles it across midfield. Trying to go down the far side, walled off by Napuri. Out of bounds, sub coming in as Leshley checks back into the game. Gonzalez throws it into Frankel, back to Gonzalez, out of bounds. Throw in. Bouncing along. Leshley boxing out, wrestling with it, and a foul is called on Leshley as she got tangled up this time with number 7, Riley Anderson. Surrett lining up again for the free kick. Surrett's kick into the box off the head of Leshley. Medavir tries to kick it, walled off by Wager. Bergstein kicks it up to Ukamadou. Ukamadou taps it over to Levy. Levy sending a leading kick down the near side. Bit too far. Medavir is going to boot that one out of bounds. We are now in stoppage time. Clock frozen at 2 minutes. And now a throw in for Woburn. Not sure what happened, but here it is. Couple passes. Anderson kicks it up. Booted away by Wager. Way upfield and taken by Hayden. Hayden now punts it. Bouncing along off the head of Freeze. Levy passes it up to Frankel. Frankel looking for an angle as she dribbles and has to pass it back to Leshley. Leshley dribbling along, pass up to Pentland. Pentland turning around, stolen away, taken by Surrett. Surrett boots it upfield. Chased down by Wager. Wager kicks it up the line to Gonzalez, tap to the middle, not there, taken away again by Surrett. Kick up to Anderson. Anderson tapping for the outside. Ganji kicks the centering kick, and it one-hops into the arms of Thompson. Thompson rolls it into Bergstein. Bergstein, excuse me, kicks it up. Ukamadu's got it. Pass to the middle, ultimately taken by Levy, tapped up to Frankel. Frankel turning around, looking, passing back to Wager. Wager boots it up the far side to Gonzalez. Gonzalez knocked out of bounds. Throw in. Kicked away, and it rolls and is taken by Curran. Ganji walled off by Leshley. And now Gonzalez knocks it away, and it's taken by Frankel. Frankel now boots the leading kick. Ukamadu takes it, or had it for a second. Now Ukamadu racing after it, and it's going to go out of bounds. And even if it didn't, that is the whistle for halftime. Our score at half, the Brookline Warriors 1, the Woburn Tanners 1. Woburn, the underdog, got the first goal of the game off the foot of Caleb Bubak in the 12th minute. Brookline scored the equalizer off the goal from Eleanor Bergstein. Now at this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Language Virtual. Language Virtual is a nonprofit organization made by Brookline High School students in order to help other students all over the world. Language Virtual offers free English language lessons online to students around the globe. These lessons are taught by volunteer high school students, many of them from right here in Brookline, who are recruited by Language Virtual to teach these ELL lessons through the simplest, most tried and true method of learning a language: conversation. To date, Language Virtual has recruited over 100 teachers to teach over 700 students across more than 10 different countries. And with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Language Virtual has seen an influx of students of Ukrainian descent displaced by the war, and hoping these English lessons can help them adjust to their new living situations. Visit languagevirtual.org to find out how you can register either as a teacher or as a student for these free English language lessons. You can also donate money to Language Virtual to help them continue teaching students in need and fostering these worldwide connections. Once again, that's languagevirtual.org. And as always, you can find that same information down in the description section down below. Find out about Language Virtual down in the description section. But for now, it is halftime. Brookline 1, Woburn 1. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I'll be taking a break off the mic, but I'll be back for the second half. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Back on the mic once again. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, for this high school varsity girls soccer contest in the MIAA Division I state tournament round of 32 between the 7th-seeded Brookline High Warriors and the 26th-seeded Woburn High Tanners. We are tied up at 1 apiece halfway through. Excuse me, sorry about that. We are all tied up at 1 apiece. Goals coming from Kayla Bubak for Woburn and from Eleanor Bergstein for Brookline. We got a comment in the live chat from one of the Brookline boys players, Gabriel Spaggett. Jesse, what are your current thoughts on the game? Well, I would say, just coming from my own subjective perspective, show me someone who thought this was going to be the score at halftime, and I'll show you a liar. But, certainly plenty of reason for Brookline to feel disappointed with how things played out in that first half. I mean, you can say that that goal scored by Woburn, that it was, just a sloppy mistake and the kind of fluky goal you don't see a lot. Doesn't matter. I mean, I would say what I've been seeing from these two teams, Woburn is playing very aggressive to the ball right now. They are playing like a team that's got nothing to lose, and Brookline is playing like a team that's got everything to lose, which is kind of the common trap that you see when teams play against a team that they're supposed to beat. They play a lot more tentatively and cautiously, worried about, either making a mistake or trying to get the perfect setup for a goal, because you figure, oh, my level of play is this much higher than my opponent. I can get the exact perfect thing that I need. I don't need to, show as much urgency as normal, but you've got to bring that urgency. I think another factor was certainly the fact that Brookline didn't start Amr Ukamadu like they normally do. I mean, her impact on the offense, the pressure she generates with her speed and her ability to win 50-50 balls and do that signature quick turnaround she's got on defenders. The impact of that really cannot be understated, and you saw as soon as she came in, the offensive pressure started dialing up a notch, and then Brookline was able to score the equalizer. So I would say those are my thoughts right now. I would say Brookline, if there's an adjustment to be made, I would say play with a little bit more aggressiveness and a little more urgency. I mean, on the defensive end, that one, major mistake aside, the defense has been doing its job for Brookline. Tanner's coming back out onto the field. They will be playing on the left side now for the second half. And they will get the opening possession of the second half after Brookline got the opening possession of the first. So let's see how these teams adjust for the second half. All tied up at 1 apiece. Kayla Bubak, the goal for Woburn unassisted. Eleanor Bergstein, the goal for Brookline, assisted, I believe, by Anna Leshley. Here we go. Sydney Labissiere passes it back to Surratt. Surratt lifts it high. Curran deflects it along, but Freeze cuts her off and passes it back to Wager. Wager lifts it up the far side to Gonzalez. Stolen away by Labissiere, but recovered by Alex Levy. Passed back to Cecilia Wager. Wager boots it upfield. Hard collision. Sara Gonzalez managed to get a pass up to Eleanor Bergstein. Bergstein fighting for it, taken away by Camille Connors. Passed up to Curran. Now this pass deflects away from Surratt, taken by Sari Frankel. Pass across to Velena Chernichev. Back to Levy and back to Anna Leshley. Lifted high, bouncing along and kicked away by Caitlin Clark. Pass now walled off by Chernichev. A couple passes. Pentland now sending a leader for Maddie Moore. Maddie Moore's shot, and that one is in! Madeline Moore off the assist from Gianna Pentland gives Brookline the lead in the first minute of the second half. And I said the aggressiveness and the urgency was going to pay dividends. Velena Chernichev in the midfield was playing aggressive to that ball, walled off the attempted clear. It deflected, got past to Pentland, and Pentland with a really nice find on the near side as Moore comes in, scores her first goal of the year. And just like that, Brookline now with a 2-1 lead. Labissiere off to the races, though. Wager walls her off. And Wager kicks it out of bounds. A foul is called against Labissiere. So tally that, a goal in the 41st minute by number 14, Madeline Moore, assisted by number 13, Gianna Pentland. Wager's kick, bouncing along, off ahead and out of bounds. Gonzalez throws it in, stolen away by Connors, up to Curran. Curran's pass cut off by Wager. Pass up to Levy. Levy swings it across to Chernichev. Stolen away now. Pass leading for Bubak. Bubak firing a shot, and it's going to be saved by Talia Thompson. Thompson rolls it up the middle to Levy, who passes it to the far side to Sydney Freeze. Now up to Gonzalez, up to Frankel. Frankel boxing out her defender, now sending a leading kick up the far side. Pentland manages to get ahead, but now it's booted away into the midfield. Kicked away by Napuri. Kicked back. Stolen again by Napuri. Pass up, give and go. Cut off by Wager, but Labissiere takes it. Freeze trying to cut her off. And this is going to roll out of bounds and be Woburn ball. Quick throw-in for Labissiere. Labissiere could not fight through Freeze on that one. It's knocked out of bounds. Throw in. Bouncing along, booted away by Anna Leshley. Bergstein kicks it further upfield to Pentland. Pentland dribbling with it. Stolen away. Taken by Surratt. Kick up the middle, booted back by Freeze. And now Medavir kicks it back. Freeze takes it back and kicks it out of bounds. Quick throw in from Medavir. Bounces over Labissiere, and Freeze taps it back to Wager. Up to Gonzalez, popped in the air. Off the head of Surratt, off a hard collision. Booted away now by Leshley. Deflected back to the middle. Levy manages to win that battle. Pass leading too far. Napuri cuts it off. Kicked up field to Riley Anderson. Anderson sends it up to Buback. Offsides called on Buback. Good field awareness there by Anna Leshley to jump up and force that offsides. Wager with the kick. Off ahead the wrong way, and now a race to the ball. Connor's going to get there first and boot it out of bounds. Ball's deflected back. Leshley gets to it, and that deflects off Anderson and out of bounds. Quick throw in to Frankel. Frankel dribbling, gets a pass to Moore. Moore's pass gets up to Pentland. Pentland turning around, again leading for Moore. Moore now with the crosser. Caught by Hayden. Moore almost had her second goal of the day there. I thought she was going to go for a crosser for sure. And maybe that was the intent, and that was just the way the ball curved, but Amber Hayden with a big save to keep it a one-goal game. Freeze cuts off Labissiere. Pass across to Leshley. Leshley's kick deflected. Scrummed for and won by Anderson. Anderson dribbling, sends a pass through. Scrum, and it's kicked away by Wager as Levy now boots it upfield. Bergstein sends it back to Frankel. Frankel matched up against Connors, and Frankel manages to get around her. Loses track of the ball, though, and Surratt kicks it away. Curran now launches a long leading kick up the far side. Wager's going to get there first. Pass it up to Freeze. Up to Levy. Levy manages to turn around on her defender and get a pass up to Chernychev. Too far away from Chernychev. Clark cuts it off, but Frankel almost sent a leading kick. Walled off by Chernychev, now walled off by Frankel. Foul is going to be called against Chernychev. But you know what? If I'm a Brookline fan, that's a foul I'm okay with. You know, again, playing aggressive to the ball, showing that urgency, that's what you want to see. Just ended up tripping up a leg and drawing a foul. Don't want to discourage play like that. Brookline working it upfield. Frankel sending a leading kick down the far side. Bergstein racing to it. Bergstein sending in a crosser. Walled off by Clark, and Clark boots it away out of bounds. We got a bit of a discussion. I think there was something that happened that I missed while I was following the ball. Woburn fans seemed really unhappy about it. But this is going to be Woburn ball. Throw in to Labissiere. Labissiere gets around her defender. Dribbling with it. Leading kick. Finds a target. Walled off by Wager, and Wager manages to kick it out of bounds for a throw-in. This throw-in goes off the head of Wager, bouncing along. Surratt with the ball. Tripped up, and a foul is called against Frankel. Surratt setting up for the free kick. Kick comes in, one hops into the arms of Thompson. Thompson rolls it into Frankel. Pass to Levy. Give and go back to Frankel. Frankel boots it. Deflected. Collected by Pentland. Passed back to Frankel again. Frankel sends it right back to Pentland. Pentland dribbling. looking, directing traffic, sends another leader to an open. Maddie Moore. Moore crossing it. Punched away by Hayden, but it deflects off Medavir and out of bounds. That'll be a corner kick. That Pentland-Moore connection down the near side has been working wonders for Brookline this half. Now Sari Frankel setting up for the corner kick. This one coming in high. Deflected away by Hayden. Deflected out of the box. And Curran kicks it away. And that is going to roll out of bounds. Quick throw in. Deflects out of bounds, stays with Brookline. You got to give credit to Amber Hayden. She's made a couple of close stops here in the second half. Throw in, and now it's booted upfield, and again out of bounds. It'll stay with Brookline. Throw in to Bergstein. Bergstein to Pentland. Tapped back to Levy. Levy's pass to the far side to Gonzalez. Pass to Bergstein. Knocked away, but Gonzalez going to chase it down. Send a pass back, knocked away, and taken by Curran. Curran kicks it upfield, and it goes up to Bubak. Bubak dribbling with it. Bubak hitting down the far side. Slowing up, hands it off to Labissiere. Labissiere keeps it in bounds, coming up the far side. Fakes out a defender, now sends a pass back to Surratt. Surratt launches a shot, and that's going to sail over the bar. Really nice set of passing by Woburn, but just couldn't get the finish. Thompson with the goal kick up the middle to Levy. Tapped over to Freeze, up to Frankel. Frankel up the middle, knocked away by Connors. Popped into the air. Corralled by Nicole Ganji. Sent to the middle and booted away by Leshley. Ganji fighting for it again. Levy also fighting for it. Tripped up. Ball is taken away by number 10. Pass to the outside to Medavir. Now off the head of Freeze. Off the bounce, collected by number 10, and they're going to call that one on Levy as she lost her footing and tripped up number 10, Joni Butler. Free kick from Curran. It's going to be caught out of the air by Thompson, who gets tripped up. A lot of physicality from both teams in this one. As Wager now sets up for the free kick off the penalty call. Boots this one upfield. Deflects off Curran. Fight for the ball. Booted away by Leshley. Pentland dribbling with it now. Now sending another leading kick for Maddie Moore. Moore again off to the races down the near side. Sending in a crosser this time. Deflected away to Pentland. Pentland trying to crash and didn't have the angle on the shot, and that sails high and wide. Again, that Pentland-Moore connection. This is an aspect of the Brookline offense we haven't really seen this year. But if this is a new weapon that they're discovering at their disposal, that could be huge. As Frankel steals this one away. Frankel still dribbling with it. Frankel still dribbling around. Still going. Sari Frankel fires. Frankel finds the back of the net. Sari Frankel looking like Allen Iverson with a soccer ball there, dribbling around several defenders and taking the shot herself as Brookline goes up 3-1. Frankel has been displaying those ball handling skills all season long, but mainly as a transition player and a facilitator for other members of the team. That time, she decided, I'm just going to do it myself. That was amazing to watch. Chernychev now sending it down the near side. Guess who? Maddie Moore. Moore sends it into the box, and it's walled off by Napuri and booted away. Surrett collects it. Moore knocks it loose. It deflects over to Levy. Levy tries to pass back to Moore, but it's cut off by Anderson and taken by Napuri. Kicked upfield, walled off by Leshley. Napuri recovers again, walled off by Leshley, and knocked out of bounds. Throw in from Napuri, off the head of Bubak, and that's going to be a handball against Labissiere. Pass from Levy to Frankel, now over to Chernychev. Chernychev's pass walled off by Clark. Kicked upfield, Leshley. Now kicked away. Moore chases that down, and Anderson keeping up the push down the near side, keeps it in bounds. Riley Anderson looking for a chance. Could not fight through Cecilia Wager. And a foul is called against Anderson. We got a substitution coming off for Brookline, number 14, Maddie Moore. Checking out, replaced by Amra Ukamadu. Moore coming off to a round of applause from the Brookline faithful after a really impressive shift here in the second half. Free kick is knocked down by Curran, taken by Labissiere. Pass deflected, lost out of bounds. Throw in from Anderson to Labissiere. Labissiere fighting against Leshley. Leshley knocks it loose, and it's taken now by Leshley. Long pass. Bergstein tried to kick it. It's deflected. Fighting through. Bergstein manages to knock it back to Frankel. Frankel sending a kick, goes off the head of Connors. Connors moving it up. Ukamadu knocks it back to Frankel. Frankel dribbling through. Still dribbling. Now sending one upfield. Clark boots it away and out of bounds. Taken quickly by Bergstein. Thrown in for Ukamadu. Battling for the ball, and it goes out of bounds. You know, Eleanor Bergstein's recovery from the broken arm she suffered earlier this year just continues to impress me. She's doing throw-ins. She broke her arm earlier this fall. That's crazy. Offside's now called against Pentland. Ball now taken by the Tanners. Long kick headed down by Bergstein, booted out of bounds. Throw in downed by Labissiere, poked loose by Bergstein, kicked up field by Frankel. Clark recovers, passes to the far side to Medevere. Kicked back by Wager. Knocked down, deflected over to Frankel, pass to Levy. Levy sending a leading kick for Ukamadu. Ukamadu off to the races, couldn't get the kick off as Connors was walling her off. And they're going to say last touched by Ukamadu. You know, even with 3 goals allowed, you got to give credit to the Woburn defense for how tenacious they've been. Camille Connors especially has been everywhere for this Woburn defense. Napuri dribbling with it, poked away by Chernychev. Gonzalez pass to the middle, a bit off the mark, and it's knocked away by Clark. Frankel chasing it down, getting around Clark. Frankel dribbling, passes back to Levy. Levy back up to Frankel. Frankel pass over to Ukamadu. Ukamadu taps one ahead, and a handball is going to be called against Pentland. You know, one thing that's really impressed me about Frankel this season, I knew she was agile. I knew she had good ball handling. I've been surprised at how well she has done, you know, asserting herself physically in the midfield. I mean, you look at Frankel, she's one of the smallest players on the field on any given point, as that foul is going to be called on Surrett, as Gonzalez doing the very same thing I was just talking about, battling physically and drawing that foul. Wager setting up for the free kick from about the 41 yard line of the football field. Wager kicks it off the head of Surrett into open space, and it's going to be taken by, I believe, Curran. Curran dribbling with space to work. 3-on-2 rush. Curran fires a shot, misses just wide. And we've got a substitution coming in now for Brookline. Seeing the field for the first time will be number 9, McKenna Hammond. Wager boots this one. Knocked down and kicked out of bounds by Bergstein. Throw in again, deflects out of bounds, stays with Woburn. We got about 18 minutes left in this contest. Brookline leads Woburn 3-1. Kicked across the field. Riley Anderson passes it back to Napuri. To the middle to Surrett, knocked away by Chernychev. Napuri trying to fend off Hammond. Forced back, and now a foul called just as Ukamadu was swooping in for the double team. Clark boots this one upfield. Levy now kicks it, and that's going to float out of bounds. Napuri throws it in. Bouncing along down the near side. And foul is going to be called on Woburn for that one. And a yellow card is going to be assessed to Kayla Bubak. So Bubak is going to come off. It looks like she's going to be replaced by number 17, Marquis Gibbons. Wager with the free kick. Off the head of Surrett, off the head of Clark. Bouncing along. And deflected out of bounds. Savvy kick from Chernychev as it goes off Anderson. Leshley throws it in. A little too far. And Clark is going to boot this one out of bounds. Throw in to Hammond. Hammond sends a pass taken away by Surratt. Surratt's kick deflects. Leshley takes it back. Leshley tries to send a leading kick. Ukamadu racing in, but Hayden scoops it up in time. Hayden punts this one, kicked back by Levy, recovered by Gibbons. Gibbons dribbling, sending one up the far side, knocked away by Freeze. And now Bergstein gets it up to Levy. Back to Freeze now. Freeze kicks it up to Frankel. Into open space, it's booted away by Clark. And that's going to bounce out of bounds. Substitution coming in now for Brookline. Seeing the field for the first time will be number 16, Emma Eisenhower, as she replaces Sari Frankel. Less than 15 minutes left on the clock. Brookline holding a 3-1 lead. Wager boots it along, deflects. Kicked away by Medavir. Downed pass off the mark. Bergstein had it for a second, now deflects over to Gibbons. Pass misses, the target goes out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Levy kicks it along to Ukamadu. Over to Chernychev. Back out to Ukamadu. Ukamadu off to the races down the far side. Ukamadu trying to gain a bit of an edge. Crosser coming in. And what did they call? They must have called offsides. And so Hayden kicks this one. Knocked out of bounds by Gonzalez. Anderson throws it in. Scrum for the ball. And it's going to be a foul against Brookline. Free kick from Surratt. Racing in is Curran. Almost had a chance there. Tries to tap a pass back, but it's broken up, and Eisenhower clears it out. Knocked away by Connors. And now kicked back into open space. Napuri takes it. Napuri dribbling in. Fights through one, and it's booted away by Wager. Throw in Labissiere. Pass. Crossed Surratt. Deflected away and booted upfield. Levy kicks it up. And it's deflected in the air by Clark. Clark kicks it up the line. Knocked out of bounds by Gonzalez. Substitution coming in now for the Tanners. As Kayla Bubak returns to the field, replacing Cindy Labissiere. Throw in. Deflects a couple times. And again, taken by Hammond. Hammond kicks to the middle, knocked away by Gibbons. Deflects a couple which ways. Gibbons staying with it. Kicks out to the far side. It's a race to the ball. And Bergstein manages to kick it out of bounds despite the hard hit from Curran. Throw into Bubak. Back to Curran. Curran pops it into the box. Attempted pass back, kick, nice sliding block by Levy. Now Anderson kicks it upfield off the head of Leshley, out of bounds. Quick throw in. Knocked down, taken by Anderson. Anderson stolen away by Leshley. Booted upfield, knocked back to Chernychev, pass back to Ukamadu. Ukamadou tries to send a pass, deflected but collected by Chernychev. Chernychev passing back to Levy, who pops one up in the air. Off ahead. Scrum for the ball. Ukamadou fighting for it, manages to tap it through to Chernychev. Sending a leading pass, race to the ball, and it's scooped up by Hayden. About a half second sooner, that would have been a chance for McKenna Hammond, but Hayden slides in and takes that. Gonzalez pass off the mark, taken by Gibbons. Pass back to Surrett, who pops it in the air. Deflected down, taken by Eisenhower. Eisenhower pass to Chernychev. Tap misses Hammond, but she chases down and recovers it. Pass back now to Gonzalez. To the middle now to Eisenhower. Eisenhower's kick knocked away by Gibbons. Taken now by Ganji. Back to Surrett. Surrett pass across to Gibbons. Gibbons upfield, kicked away by Bergstein, but popped right back to the far side to Curran. Curran kicks it into the box, but nobody there, and it's scooped up by Thompson. Less than 10 minutes left in this one. Levy pass up to Chernychev. Pass back to Leshley. Leshley's kick up to Levy. Levy up to Chernychev, back to Levy. Levy upfield, knocked away by Clark. Curran knocks it upfield, and Wager boots that one out of bounds. Labissiere checking back into the game, replacing Ganji. Throw in, booted out immediately by Bergstein. Another throw in, bouncing along. Wager boots that one away. Surrett trying to work her way through, ran out of room, booted away by Eisenhower. Collected by Connors. Connors' kick taken away by Bergstein, kicked upfield. Medavir going to knock it out of bounds. Throw in from Hammond, back to Bergstein. Bergstein kicks it into the box, but nobody there, as it's taken by Hayden. Hayden punts it, downed by Levy. Eisenhower trying to stay with it. Kicked away now by Curran. Wager boots it back upfield. Now Gibbons passes it up to Buback. Over to Gibbons. And I think that's a foul called on Chernychev. Surrett. This one's booted back. Taken again for a second by Surrett. Now Hammond boots it up in the air. It's taken by Gibbons. Passed back to Medavir. Kicked into the box. And it's going to be collected by Thompson. Thompson punts it. Taken by Pentland now. Pentland boxing out her defender. Now dribbling and passing it away to Levy. Over to Leshley. Leshley turns around, and that kicks off the mark and out of bounds. Anderson throws it in, downed by Leshley. Booted in the air by Anderson. Off the head of Gonzalez and out of bounds. Throw in. Labissiere cut off by Wager. Wager kicks it up the line, collected by Buback. Kick into the box. Oh, point blank save by Thompson. That one actually got pretty dangerous. Pass up to Hammond. Forced out of bounds, stays with Brookline. Throw in. Goes out of bounds, taken back by Woburn now. Throw in. Booted high. Off the head of Gonzalez. Eisenhower kicks it upfield. Now a favorable deflection for Brookline deep into the Woburn end. Chased down by Napuri. Pentland knocks it away, but it goes out of bounds. And that'll be Woburn ball. Napuri throws it in to Anderson, walled off by Gonzalez. Hammond swoops in and takes it, but slipped and fell on the ball. Napuri trying to clear it out. Hammond takes it back. Pass goes through everybody back to Freeze. Up to Chernychev. Back to Bergstein. Popped high in the air. Race to the ball. And an offside's called on Hammond. We are officially in stoppage time. Clock frozen at 5 minutes. Is this kick booted? Deflected. Medavir chasing after it. Kick walled off by Chernychev. Kicked up to Hammond. Medavir kicks it away. Kicked back by Bergstein, but deflected out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball. Brookline 3, Woburn 1. We've got another sub coming in for Brookline. Number 21, Mirabelle Kesselman returns to the field, replacing Alex Levy. Throw in. It's deflected, kicked upfield, and deflects off Bergstein out of bounds. Quick throw in. And Wager kicks it out of bounds. Another quick throw in from the Tanners off the head of Wager. Downed, kick stolen away by Kesselman. Kesselman pass to Pentland. Pentland fakes, goes the other way. Pentland gets the ball away to Gonzalez. Kicks it upfield, but nobody there. Hayden boots this one upfield. Taken by Bubak. Leading kick down the near side, but nobody there. That's going to be Brookline ball. Leshley throws it in. Pentland takes it, knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Brookline. You can tell Brookline with a 2-goal lead, just trying to run out the clock here. Leshley throwing it in down the near side once again. Knocked out of bounds, stays with Brookline. Gonzalez throws it in. Taken away by Surrett. Eisenhower battles and gets it back. Her kick deflected by Labissiere. Bubak fighting for it. Recovered by Labissiere. Cut off by Wager. Knocked out of bounds. Throw in. Kesselman, the last line, just barely kicks that one away. Chernychev. Her kick walled off, but recovered by Freeze. Up to Hammond. Over to Chernychev. Pass. Walled off. And that's a foul against Hammond. Free kick sails in, knocked down, taken by Chernychev. Up to Pentland now. And Pentland is just going to boot this one upfield and out of bounds. Throw in to Napuri. And a foul called on Pentland. So now after the foul, a free kick from Anderson. Deflects back. Napuri has it for a second. And now Pentland kicks it out of bounds once again. Anderson throw in. Labissiere trying to take it, but Leshley gets there first and boots it right back where they started from. Anderson throws in. Eisenhower knocks it away. Anderson kicks it back upfield. And that is going to roll out the back end for a goal kick. We got a substitution coming in now for Brookline. Returning to the field, number 14, Madeline Moore, replacing Anna Leshley. Wager boots this one. Downed by Surrett. Kicked by Gonzalez. Bouncing along. Medivere tried to clear it, but Hammond takes it. Pass back to Bergstein. Sent up the far side. Cut off by Connors, but Hammond again takes it back. Passes back to Kesselman. Kesselman boots it upfield, and that is just going to roll into open space and go out of bounds. And that'll be Woburn ball. Throw-in is deflected down by Pentland. Booted upfield where it's going to be kicked back by Moore. Butler tried to take it, but instead it's taken by Kesselman. Pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez kicks it upfield. Race to the ball, and it's scooped up by Hayden. Hayden punts this one, bouncing along. Kicked upfield by Bubak, but nobody there except Freeze. Sent back to Thompson. Thompson sends it up to Bergstein. Bergstein boots it up the far side. Oh my gosh, is that still in bounds? Oh, now it rolls out. That was a wild sequence as it's thrown in now to Butler, but Butler loses it out of bounds. Throw in. Chernychev. And there is the triple whistle. The Brookline Warriors hold serve and advance. The final score here at Parsons Field. The 7th-seeded Brookline Warriors 3. The 26th-seeded Woburn Tanners 1. Brookline will advance to the round of 16, and they will host 10th-seeded King Philip on Wednesday. So be sure to be on the lookout for that game, folks, as Brookline advances. And you know what? While we're at it, hats off to Woburn. You know, they came in as severe underdogs, and they gave Brookline much more of a fight than I think a lot of people expected. Actually took a lead in the opening minutes of the game off the unassisted goal by Kayla Bubak. And the Tanners, you know, looking at the roster, pretty young team. A lot of key players that are sophomores. So to the Woburn Tanners, I would say keep your heads held high. A very respectable season for a young growing team. Take pride in your fight this season and come back stronger next year. And to Brookline, they move on. The equalizer goal coming in the first half from Eleanor Bergstein, assisted by Anna Leshley. And then in the first minute of the second half, it was Madeline Moore scoring the go-ahead goal, assisted by Gianna Pentland. For both Bergstein and Moore, both seniors this year, their first goal for both of them of this 2022 season. And then the insurance goal scored unassisted by Sari Frankel. So that gave us our final of 3-1. And that is going to do it. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. If you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'm probably going to have the round of 16 contest for you on Wednesday. And of course, in a couple of hours, I will have the Brookline boys soccer team as they travel out to Shrewsbury, the 31st seeded team in the boys tournament, taking on the second seeded St. John's High School. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel can help. If there's anything you'd like to say and the stream is already over, I encourage you to say it in the comment section down below. Thank you to all of you who participated in the live chat today. It was nice to see it so lively. And of course, go down to the description section where you can find out information about our local charity spotlight, Language Virtual. Find out how you can volunteer, or rather, find out how you can register for free English language lessons, either as a volunteer teacher or as a student in need, and also find out how you can help donate to the cause. Check out the bottom right corner of your screen. You can see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sportscasting services that I provide, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team or player. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. Contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. Follow me on Instagram for highlights from previous live streams. You can expect the goals from today to go up on my Instagram in the next day or two, so follow me on Instagram for that. But that is going to do it from Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. The final score, Brookline 3, Woburn 1. Brookline advances to the round of 16 against 10th seeded King Philip, which will be played back here in Brookline on Wednesday. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your Sunday.